financial background. The other one that jumps out at me is Alicia Miner, who has served on not-for-profit boards and is a CPA. Mm-hmm. So those are the three that I would suggest putting up. Two of the three.
Yeah.
I will say that Tom Richards has been on this committee since that was founded basically for over 10 years ago and has been a great asset to the committee, has a lot of continuity, a lot of long-term knowledge, not only in his field but also with committee and this the information that we share, and has always had great input to it as well.
Other committee members' thoughts?
I'll go. I'm ex officio, so I don't get to vote, but I get to talk. Right? Agreed with you. His depth of knowledge and his commitment over the years, and this is institutional knowledge because of the time he's been on here. I think it's been invaluable. Like Heather says, you know, I've always seen him. He's always on point. He's always, you know, asking some very relevant questions and really getting into it. So, just want to share that.
Ryan was also, relatively new with him being his first term on the committee last year, and I thought he was able to add, be a great asset to the committee on his first year, and so I would like that to continue for the next year as well.
Mr. Coppins, Mr. Oldfield, any comments? And it's okay if not. I don't want you not to have a chance.
No. I'm just listening.
Yeah.
And you talked about a few things. Continuity is important. Again, I think that the three people that have already been talked about are really into it. And the budget is, I mean, the finances are large. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. The only everyone who applied, as all of the committee applications. I mean, everyone brings in their different pieces and reasons for why they wanted to serve on the committees that they said they were interested in. And so, I think when we highlight certain names, it doesn't mean that the names that we don't highlight, were awful or anything like that. I think the only other name that really stuck out to me was Jill Harper, and the experience that she has. And so, but I agree that on Tom, there is. As we are looking at the financial situation that we are going into as the district, there is a wealth of knowledge that Tom brings as a community member and as someone who is very in tune with this community on a broad scale, and the way when we are potentially going to be looking at talking about, we're going to be talking about what a 10-year plan looks like and talking about bonds. I know that we've been slowly drumming that beat of there might at some point be a tax levy at some point, right? Tom really brings in that keen attunement to, I think, giving some really good advice on what are good tactics and ways of really talking to our community about this. I think as we've talked about a Prop C waiver at times, he's really brought in things that hadn't been brought up before, and I was like, oh, I didn't think about that, and from that standpoint, as well as I think he's been really great at talking about, last year when we were doing our tax rate and voting on that, when we had finance committee meeting, really hitting on the fact that, like, yes, y'all have increased to this degree, and yeah, you got to do less, but when you add in inflation into that, really you're losing out on a bunch of money. And I was like, yes, and that was right, serving on as a board member for some years, so I think that's really good. And I think Ryan has been a great asset. His first year, this past year was really great, and I think that he has a lot of great questions that for someone who was doing their first time on this committee, right? In that way, it just showed where his knowledge base was at. I shared with y'all an email how we're going to do this, but I feel it'd be awkward after we've done two committees doing it a different way. So we'll just do it the same way as the other two have compared to what I shared. So I'm sorry about that. It's just that, might as well just flow with the river as the rhythm goes. So with that, we'll nominate one person, and then we'll vote, and we'll nominate another person and vote, and go through that order. So do I have a nomination for one person?
I nominate Tom Richards.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All right, all those in favor in having Tom continue serving on the committee, raise your hand and say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please do the same. All right, unanimously approved. Moving on, do I have another nomination for our second seat?
I'll nominate Brian Lewis.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
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 All right, unanimously approved. We have filled our two committee members. It is going to be Tom Richard and Ryan Eulis. As we previously stated, as long range was ending, everyone who applied will be getting an email from me and my lovely face. I will let y'all know, thanking y'all for applying and letting you know you either got on or didn't, and which one. And those that did get on a committee, I'll tell you which one, and I will share the dates for you. With that, do I have a motion to adjourn this last special committee meeting?
I move to adjourn.
Do I have a second? All right, I got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right, we are adjourned at 5:48.